What is good, YouTube? This your girl J Nicole DMV, and today I am back with another video. This is part 2 of my military experience, and today I'm going to be finishing up and telling you guys, what happened to me in red phase and some things that happened in white phase that I can't remember. So without further ado, let's get into this video. During red phase, we also did shower drills. Shower drills were probably one of the most uncomfortable things for me, because I never really had to be around that many women naked. It's like we're all naked at once. How shower drills go is, well, especially the first night for us, we didn't get a choice. We didn't get to pick, how we wanted to, take showers. It's about maybe 10, I want to say 10 showers at least. 10 showers at least. And she put us in groups. The drill sergeant put us in groups. Get undressed. Have your stuff with like 10 other women. So y'all all walking around naked. I mean, it was just a lot. It was a bit much for me. I just did not like it. And then you were timed as well. Like, you were timed on how long you could take a shower. So it really was given wash your face, wash your ass, and get out. Like, pretty much. And they had no stalls, like nothing to cover it. They probably had like these little shower curtains, if I'm thinking about it. And I have to think about it too hard, so I'm really feeling like it was no door, no shower curtain. So you could see people shaving, their legs, their vagina. Yeah, you got real close to people in the shower. I just didn't want to be that close to nobody. So yeah, if you think about going to basic, that's exactly what you can expect. So the cafeteria drills and the things you had to do in the caf, AKA we call it the DFAC. When it was time to eat, you were ready to eat, but then also something in me dreaded it, because you had to, it just was, who knows the reason behind this. You had to enter the DFAC a certain way. And then also, when you got in the DFAC, you had to do your left face, your right face, just for you to get it down, get your facing movements down, because you got to know how to do those things when they call cadence, or, when y'all are marching. So they make you do that going through the DFAC. So imagine just walking around and you're just walking around like that.
Try your hand, just sharp left, sharp right, sharp left, sharp right.
Like, so you gotta do that as you gathering your food on a tray. But then also, I don't know if this was just our drill sergeant or if this is really like one of those things. And I'm unsure, because I still don't understand the reasoning to this day behind that. So if somebody knows, if a veteran knows, you know what I'm saying, why we had to do what I'm about to talk about, then please let me know, because I would like to know. So when you get your tray and you're in line, after you do all the facing movement, you're in line standing next to somebody. Y'all have to be shoulder to shoulder pre-COVID. This was before COVID. Well, it wasn't before COVID, but before restrictions got put in place. And you're scooting right, but your heels had to be together. And if your heels were not together, he was my own drill sergeant. His name was Sergeant.
2 hours later.
I don't know, but I don't remember his last name. I just remember it was Patrick. This dude, he would walk around the calf as we were getting our food. If our heels weren't together, we had to yell at the top of our lungs until we got to where we were going to be seated. And mind you, they have to tell you when you're allowed to be seated. at the table. Like, you have to go to the table with your tray and stand until they tell you you may be seated. So if your heels were not together, you're yelling in the calf,
"My food tastes better with my heels together. My food tastes better with my heels together."
my food tastes better with my heels together. I never was the one to get called out because I don't like being put on the spot like that. So I always remember to have my heels together. But it was somebody every day. And even when they finally tell you that you can be seated and they catch you with your heels not together as you're eating, then you stand up as soon as you about to go jump your tray. They might even tell you, training, you're done, get up, your heels weren't together. And as you're walking, around the calf, because you gotta go around to, go dump your tray, go back outside. My food tastes better with my heels together. My food tastes better with my heels together. Trainee, I can't hear you. My food tastes better.
Bruh.
I felt bad for people that actually went outside like that. Like, they really, it was funny, but it was not funny if you were that one. You didn't have long to eat. I want to say, I still eat fast until this day because of the Army. I really inhale my food and have to remember that I don't have to just swallow it and not taste it. I want to say at the minimum, you had 10 to 15 minutes to eat. And that's at a minimum. Then don't let nobody mess up. Because you're going to throw up if they decide to smoke you. Remember that corrective training I told you guys about, or corrective action? On a full stomach. So you might throw up to eat that much and get completely full, because there was no telling what was going to happen when we got back to the company. So after you get through that phase, of learning the basics, learning your facing movements, learning, your chain of command and everything else, that's all of that during red phase. You're getting the basics. So now leaving red phase, and every phase after that, you'll get a ceremony. You guys might go stand in the field, depending on, what companies are on, the same track as y'all, or the same, whatever time, because, everybody might not be on the same pace as far as you graduating. With the ceremony, you get a phone call. You get a phone call home. Don't remember how long the phone call was, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't over 5 or 10 minutes, and it might just have been 5. But really, it depends on your drill sergeant sometimes. It really does. They might do little incentives, like if y'all get this right or that right, y'all might get a little bit more phone time. And the extra phone time could be, 5 minutes, give you an extra 2. And that's being generous. So ending of red, probably going into the start of white. You will do the gas chamber. And the scale of 40-foot wall. The gas chamber, now that I'm looking back on it, it was easy. The nerves I had going into it though, no. You get in the gas chamber, you have your gas mask on, they make you do some exercises. They tell you to, open your gas mask. They tell you breathe, so you know how to work it. At that point, I believe I wasn't clearing mine right, because I had already had gas in my throat. My nose was already burning, so clearly I didn't follow good directions. And they tell you to run in place, and they give you a couple instructions before they actually gas you. Moving on to that part, when they finally do gas you, they tell you to, get off the wall, stand in a straight line, hold the person in front of you's back, and they tell you to take off your mask. So as you take off your mask, at first I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. It's not that bad.
It was maybe for like 10 seconds, and then I was like, oh, no, get out, get out, get out.
Everybody's like, get out, just go, go, go. So when you get out, you're not supposed to wipe your face or anything because that'll make it burn more. It'll make your face burn. So when you get out, you're just supposed to flap your arms up and down, you know. So, but on the way down, it was like a trail to get back to where we were sitting at. It probably took us like 4 or 5 minutes to get to it. By the time that I was at the bottom of the trail, close to where we were supposed to sit down at, it was only like a tingle. I could see at that point. Cause I had snot coming out my nose and everything. I didn't wanna, you know, be seen like that. And I decided to just wipe my nose and my whole face just lit up in flames. I was like, oh my God. So, note, if you go to basic, you do a gas chamber, do not touch your face at all. Don't wipe your eyes, don't wipe your nose, don't wipe your lips. Just do nothing. So moving on to the 40-foot wall, that was the same day as the gas chamber. And I was already nervous about that. I was glad the gas chamber was over, but then I knew heights was another fear of mine. So one drill sergeant was like, he was like, who don't like heights in here? My dumb ass. Me. Who's scared to get on the wall? Me. Okay, that's who be going first. All y'all to raise your hand, all y'all going first. I'm good with faces, I'll remember.
Bruh.
What? So we get there, we had to ruck to the 40-foot wall, so we were walking there. We get to the wall, they teach you how to tie your rope, the harness. There's somebody that is going to tell you everything that you need to know as far as protocol, and you know how to scale the wall. I get up there, get on the wall, and you have to lean back like this with your rope. I didn't like that. And the drill sergeant that I had, because the drill sergeants will be on top of the wall, of course, to assist you. And he was like, okay, you know, first he started off patient. He was like, okay, trainee, this is what you're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna fall. Go ahead, you know, lean back, do what you need to do. I stood there for like maybe 4 minutes. And he was like, okay, either you're gonna go down this wall or I'm gonna push you off this wall. So which way do you want it? I was like, I don't want to be pushed. And I was like, okay, so I just leaned back and I started doing it. I was inching down and inching down. I was like, oh, that wasn't even that bad. So I had psyched myself out before that, but that was the smaller wall. There was maybe like a 15, I believe there's like a 15 and a 40. So that was the 15. Don't quote me on the sizes. But I move over, get to the 40, you could see over the trees on this wall, and I didn't like that either. I get up there, this wall is messing with grown men nerves. Like you had to be up there. Once you got on the wall, for some reason we had to be on our knees. Like you couldn't just stand up there. Like you had to be on your knees until it was your turn to go. Got up there, at least I had a female drill sergeant this time, and you know, she was kind of chill, so she kind of talked me through it. And the key to the wall is, for anybody that wants to know, once you get on it, leaning back is the worst part. Once you get to the very top and they put you in position, it's like a ledge that you kind of got to step onto and lean yourself back before you start to scale the wall. And you're leaning back and you start doing it, it's not as bad. Like you can get right down immediately. The thing is, you can't just jump straight down. Like your feet have to touch the wall. Like you have to bounce off the wall. It's one of those motions. So if you just get on there and bounce on the wall twice and fall straight down, you're gonna fail and you're gonna have to do it again. Moving on, COVID happens. So we had no clue what was happening. This is the very beginning of COVID. We had no idea what was happening with COVID. We didn't know how serious it was, and because we were in basic, the drill sergeants really gave us little information as possible, because that could make, you know, somebody want to go home. Like, you're already homesick, you already miss your family, now you're sitting here worried about if they're safe or not, or, you know, what's going on. That could just make you, you know, want to drop out, you know. So they wanted to prevent anything like that from happening. They told us that COVID was just, you know, a stronger, it was like the flu on steroids. That's basically the explanation that we got. But we knew it was a big thing because we were allowed to get a phone call to like contact our family, check on them, and tell them that there was no longer going to be a boot camp graduation. When they told us that, that tore everybody apart, because it's like, what do you mean? Like, when you come to boot camp, like, that's what you know, strive for, to graduate, to have your family come there and see you on the field, have whoever you wanted to come see you on the field. And they canceled it because they didn't want no outsiders on the base. They didn't want nobody that wasn't, you know, supposed to be on there. They didn't want no extras on the base. So we were allowed to get another phone call for that. And after that, it was all these restrictions. Like, we couldn't get bus rides anywhere. We could, you know, what would have took us 2 buses for everybody to be able to go, now took maybe like 5, because there could only be every other person in a seat on a bus, and these are like school buses. So we end up rucking everywhere. It changed us going to the cafeteria, to the DFAC, and I'm not sure if any of these rumors were, you know, real, but I believe civilians worked at the DFAC, and of course if they don't live on base, they come on base and go off of base. So it was a thing where it's like, we don't want y'all too much in contact with them, so we weren't allowed to go. So we were forced to eat MREs. I hated MREs, you guys. I was 20 pounds lighter when I came home, and it was probably because of the working out, the getting smoked, but it's because I would not eat my MREs. I only ate the snacks. Like, I would trade people the snacks. I would not use the drinks. You gotta make your own drink. I would not eat the meals that came in there. These are these pre-packaged, ready to go meals that don't expire. It didn't sit right with me, so I just never ate. Like, I just ate snacks. And I'll show you guys, probably try to insert a video or a clip or a picture of what an MRE looks like. We started eating more MREs until they could figure that out. Then later on, they decided that we could have 2 hot meals and, you know, 1 MRE a day, but somebody had to go. Our platoons had certain weeks and days that we had to go, you know, get the food. Like, we would have to just go get the food from the DFAC and bring it back to our company, set it up on this table, and have everybody come around in a circle to, like, you know, get their plate, make their plate. And that's how we ate, and we just sat on the ground and we just ate our food. Nothing significant in white phase. You have to, you know, you start to do your PT, you do your PT test. So it's not a lot more that I could tell you, because my process ended mid white phase. I did meet some awesome people while I was there. You will make like lifelong friendships, and I can't think of everybody's name right now, so I don't want to shout anybody out with like forgetting everybody's name, but I really met some dope people there. that was my experience personally. It wasn't the worst. Would I do it again? I've thought about it, but I've thought about the Air Force. Thank you for watching this video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll be back with another video. So until next time.